Recently, I took a 3-day raft trip down the lower Deschutes. Just me and an entire family from the UK that I'd never met before. With grandma and grandpa, uncles and aunts, all the way down to the grandkids. At camp the first night, I decided to go for a walk along the shore. I realized that I've gotten to know a lot about the upper Deschutes over the years, but there's very little that I know about the lower Deschutes, and there's some pretty cool stuff. So let's get started. The first thing that many people don't think much about is that the Deschutes is a somewhat rare northward flowing river, and this stretch of river between the Dalles and Bend was once the site of the Great Deschutes Railroad War.
So you have Edward Harriman and James Hill, Union Pacific, Great Northern, and they each decide to start building towards Bend on opposite sides of the Deschutes River from one another.
The race was on, and that race led to corporate sabotage, fists being thrown, and other dangerous hijinks ensued.
But like a lot of great American stories, it ends in court. Who has the right-of-ways over the Crooked River Gorge? And in the end, James Hill wins that argument.
Upon completion, James Hill traveled clear across the country to a town of just 600 people with nothing but the best of intentions.
Well, it was 100% thumbing of the nose at that Harriman lost and Hill won, and so comes into town and drives a golden spike, to let everyone know that now the railroad has come and the town can blossom and the desert can blossom, and it did indeed set off a population boom.
The geology in the area is breathtaking, and in researching how it came to be, it led me to one of the biggest natural disasters in the history of our planet. There's plenty of evidence around of the 15-million-year-old lava flows in the area, but evidence has been found that links this area to the biggest known flood ever to rage on planet Earth. The last ice age, around 15,000 years ago, brought what we are now calling Lake Missoula into existence. The lake was created when water got stuck behind an ice dam and accumulated for years, but came unleashed in a matter of days. A lake larger than Lake Ontario and Lake Erie combined drained out not over thousands of years, but in around 2 days. Its destructive path took over much of the Columbia Basin, but the floodwaters were so high that tributaries like the Deschutes show evidence of it nearly 30 miles upstream around Maupin. And what would this story be without telling you what I didn't know about the town of Maupin? Maupin is now known as a mecca for whitewater rafters, hunters, fishers, and outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds. But when Perry Maupin arrived in the area in 1872, there were no bridges, so he set up a ferry to whisk folks across the river and save them days of travel, for a small fee, of course. Now, other ferries were soon to follow, including one owned by W.H. Hunt, whom the town was once named Hunt's Ferry after. Over the years, many of those ferries, including Mr. Hunt's, were washed away by Mother Nature, and they built the first bridge in 1912, and the town of Maupin was incorporated in 1922. Finally, much of the western half of this river is property of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs. Evidence of native populations were recently discovered in Harney County that are thought to be over 18,000 years old, the oldest known evidence of human civilization in North America. It's great to be civilized, ain't it? For Central Oregon Daily News, from Maupin, Oregon, with Libby and Olivia, I'm Scott Elmas.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos from Central Oregon Daily News. And for more news from the high desert, just visit centraloregondaily.com.